Now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come, let us go hand in hand, because this is our land. Come, my brother, come, my sister, and let us build a nation together. This also goes for every Trinbagonian who want to live in a foreign land. Now is the time to come home and do something, instead of staying out there and freezing.
Yes, indeed. Now is the time to come home and do something. Now is the time for us to work together to build Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. And we are capable of doing that. All we need to do is to put our differences aside and focus on Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Using our talents, using our energies, using our strengths to build, not to break, to strengthen, to transform this place. Because Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique belong to all of us. We have a stake in all of this because it is our home. I want to welcome you to the hub. Again, we have another opportunity to dialogue, to talk, to speak. And I want to start off with a piece from St. Lucia, right? A piece from St. Lucia, the Prime Minister of St. Lucia.
I am the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. I'm busy with causing the country to move forward. For the first time, we've had single-digit unemployment. The first time. Look at, we have another rising star, Miss Lawrenson. As far as sports are concerned, if you ain't get involved in people who really want ill for St. Lucia and want bad for St. I can't. I'm not getting involved in that negativity, that spreading of doom and gloom, making friends with anybody who wants to destroy St. Lucia. I'm not getting involved in that. I'm not. St. Lucia is too precious to me. The St. Lucian people, they mean too much to me for me to get involved in that. I'm not. Because I see so much excitement. I see so many things happening. When I speak to the Chamber of Commerce, I spoke to them last week, and they said there are plans for expansion. I'm looking positive. And I want the country to join me in being positive.
Yes, I bounce up on that piece tonight, and it just clicked that this is the same line that I have been pushing since the NDC came into office. Saying to you, we have to remain positive. And we are not interested in those who are all about doom and gloom, negativity, quick to condemn, criticize, but have no solution, have no recommendation, have nothing to offer to make this place better. And hearing the Prime Minister of St. Lucia speaking the same language, remaining positive, sharing positivity, encouraging people to remain focused and remain positive and help to build your country, help to transform your country. You know, I felt good because that is exactly what we have been saying on this program. Because the opposition, the NNP, they're all about negativity. They want bad things to happen to Grenada. They want bad news on Grenada. They just want to wake up hearing something bad happen. They have not been able to get that so far, right? But that is exactly what they want. In other words, because good things are happening and positive things are happening, nothing is being fed to the beast. And when I say the beast, I'm talking about those agents who just want bad things to happen to our country. They're haters of progress. They don't want Grenada to prosper. They don't want your living standard and condition to improve. So when I heard the Prime Minister of St. Lucia speaking the same language, the same thing that we have been pushing on this program, I felt good because it's about Grenada, Carriacou, and P.T. Martinique. You know, I met a gentleman today. He came by because he had the opportunity to register to vote. He lives outside of Grenada. You know, he's in and out of Grenada. But he said for the very first time, he felt that he had to get registered because he wants to participate in the electoral process. He wants good for Grenada, his homeland. Yes, he has business outside of Grenada. But he said, Kem, I had to register. I came back because I want this transformation to take place. He's very impressed with our beloved Prime Minister and the team. And do not underestimate what is happening. Our people are registering in record numbers. They are getting registered. And when I say record numbers, because in a normal period like this, people will not be registering the way they are doing. So it augurs well for the NDC. It augurs well for the government. Because historically, people would not be wowed or excited to register to vote. But we are seeing that happening, and more, they're communicating it with me. They're excited to get registered. And that is the way to go. So we had a nice chat, you know, here today, and then another two individuals from overseas visited me, and again, they were excited to get registered. So it's happening. Our people are registering. They're heeding the call because they want to be able to participate in the upcoming general election. And we have to stay the course, remain focused. In fact, I understand that there is some bright boys who trying to persuade the government to change the electoral system. In other words, introduce a new registration process with cards and so on. And I was happy to hear that our beloved Prime Minister and those who are a part of this whole process are not going for that. Because you see, we're having hundreds of people registering. And don't believe that they can just pop in and register like this. They come here on vacation. They come for funerals. They come for festivity, you know, activities and so on, events. And they take time to register. Some of them, they have to come, when they come back, they will collect their registration card. So if you introduce a new system, all these people will get lost because there is no guarantee that they're going to come back before the election. Or if they come back, they might come back and they might be very busy. So it's good that we are keeping with the same system that we have, at least until the next election. When you complete the next election, then you can change what you have to change. But for now, our people are registering, and we must be very happy about that, because election is a numbers game. All right? It is a numbers game. So more people we can get registered in the different constituencies, because I have always said we have more Grenadians outside of Grenada than who are actually living in Grenada full time. So if we can motivate our people, because you're a Grenadian, and by law, you have all right to participate in the election. No one could stop you. The law says so. You're a Grenadian first and foremost. And then you're a Commonwealth citizen. So once you're a citizen of Grenada, you have all right to get registered with your Grenadian passport or your birth certificate, your Grenadian birth certificate. You can get registered to vote. And when election time comes, you can vote. No one could stop you. No one. As long as you are registered on that voters list. That's important. Very, very important indeed. All right? So again, it's good to see that more and more people are getting registered. And we have to make sure that our children or young people, once they reach the age of 18, that they get registered, because it is a numbers game. Right? You go into TAMCC, get registered. You go into NULO, get registered, and make sure that they get registered. You start working, get registered. Motivate them to get registered in all the constituencies, particularly the constituencies that we either won marginally or we lost marginally. It is important to get our people registered, because I've always said, if the NDC supporters and those who love the government, those who are in the middle, but they love to see what the government is doing, if they go out and vote, there's a great probability that NDC could get as much as 13 or 14 seats. Once we can mobilize and organize our people to register first and foremost, and to go out there on election day and vote very early when that time comes. So by the time 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, we should already know how many seats we got in the election. So it is so, so important to mobilize, to organize, to make sure that our people are registered and ready to go there and vote. That's important. And it is a numbers game. It makes no sense you get registered and you're not voting or not coming to vote or to participate. You have to be here to vote, to participate. It is a numbers game. And I love the fact that we are excited even now about it. That is the whole idea. All right? So it's looking good. It's looking good that all people are registering every day. They're registering. That is what you want. Folks, don't forget the town hall meeting tomorrow. No, is it tomorrow or the 20? Wednesdays? No, the town hall meeting is Wednesday, the 26th. Yes, the 26th. That's tomorrow. Tomorrow, the town hall meeting.
Get ready, Grenada. On Wednesday, March 26, it's time to dive into the future of our country at the first in a series of monthly town hall meetings. Join us. at the Trade Center in Grand Anse from 6 p.m. to hear from the Honorable Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell and the Technical Working Group as they unveil our nation's oil and gas plans. Buses will be available for your convenience, absolutely free. This is your chance to learn, ask questions, and contribute to the conversation about Grenada's energy future. It's Wednesday, March 26th at the Trade Center in Grand Anse from 6 p.m. Look out for the town hall meeting coming to your parish. Let's fuel our future together.
Right, so that's the town hall meeting there. And they're starting at the Trade Center. But every month or so, they will be going in a different constituency or a different parish. So you could get ready to participate, to ask questions, to give suggestions or make recommendations, right? To share your ideas. That is what the town hall style meeting is about. Yes, there will be presenters, there will be people talking about oil and gas, talking about other national issues, talking about, health, education, and other things like that. But what's important is that you will get the opportunity to speak, to say things, to offer ideas. And that is the beauty of town hall style meetings. The Afreximbank, right? I think it's Afreximbank. They had this ceremony to open up because they intend to build in Barbados to serve the region. And our beloved Prime Minister was there because, he's instrumental in having them here.
Today's groundbreaking ceremony is historic both for its symbolic importance and historic for its substantive and transformative importance. The future we create is one of choice, and choice of free will, and the choice of the Prime Minister of Barbados and the government and people of Barbados, and the choice of President Obama, the directors and the management of Afreximbank in pursuing this deliberate path of the reunification of Africa and its diaspora is a choice that has been long coming. The opportunities are there for us to look within ourselves and amongst ourselves to forge a new pathway of economic development, trade, investing, financing, tourism, culture, sports, the entire gamut between Africa and its diaspora.
We will continue our strategic collaboration so that the bond between Caribbean and Africa remains vibrant, resilient, and transformative for present and future generations.
For the first time, an African multilateral financial institution will be deeply rooted in the rich fields of the Caribbean. We are here to stay. The AATC will serve as a gateway for Afro-Caribbean trade and investments, creating opportunities for Africans doing business with the Caribbean and for the Caribbeans doing business in Africa.
My government stands proud here today to be able to bring in to the pantheon of financial institutions in this country the Afreximbank, not simply as an entity that is leasing a building from somebody for an office, but that as someone who is now about to lay roots and foundations in this country.
And so I express congratulations on this momentous occasion. Grenada, the people of Grenada, will continue to support the deepening of the integration process between Africa and its diaspora. Because as this team says, we are one people with one destiny, and we need to reimagine and create a future forged in our own image and likeness. Thank you very much. Good night.
Yes, and you see, we have to be proud of our Prime Minister. You realize that he is a champion for so many things, regionally and internationally. He's like the leader within this region. And Mia Motley also, you realize his position within the region, how key, how important it is. OECS, Carriacou, the linkage between Africa and the Caribbean, and we can go on and on and on and on. We have never experienced that kind of leadership, not just domestic, but regional and international, where they want him. They want him to be there. His presence is important in those forums. And you see, the Afreximbank is key to trade and for our businesses to get loans and to be able to link up Africa and Grenada and the region to do business, right? That is really, really good. And I love that. I really do. And we just hope that this continues. But we have to feel proud because we have had prime ministers here before, but they were never so relevant regionally and internationally. They in other words, their stance, their position was so different. Look at our beloved prime minister. I saw a piece on was it Barbados Nation or something like that? Right? There was a piece on that.
Bank has landed by choice on the shores of the Caribbean. That it has demonstrated in Caribbean language that it is prepared to put its money where its mouth is. And today's groundbreaking ceremony is testimony of that fact. And so on behalf of the government and people of Grenada, on behalf of the wider OECS region, we express a hearty congratulations to Afreximbank and to the government and people of Barbados on this significant event. The bank has taken a regional approach to its engagements and its interactions throughout Carriacou. Grenada, like Barbados, is benefiting significantly from the presence of the bank, particularly in the private sector, where members have already benefited from the bank's investment and loan portfolio. Grenada will follow Barbados, Guyana, and the Bahamas in hosting on the 28th and 29th of July the Afreximbank Trade and Investment Forum in Grenada. And we do so cognizant of the need to continue deepening economic opportunities, trade, investment, financing, the movement of our people, our goods and services between the continent of Africa and its diaspora in the Caribbean. And it may be that President Obama and Prime Minister Motley had a sense of clairvoyance as to the troubled times ahead back in 2021 when this partnership was initiated. Because I think we now know more than ever the opportunities are there for us to look within ourselves and amongst ourselves to forge a new pathway of economic development, trade, investing, financing, tourism, culture, sports, the entire gamut.
Right, so that was Nation News in Barbados. There they brought that piece, so I saw that earlier. So I downloaded that there. That's really good. Our Prime Minister continues to shine regionally and internationally. Let us now go to Carriacou, where more prefab houses are being built for the people of Carriacou and PT Martinique.
The process of erecting 20 prefab homes in Dumfries, Carriacou has started. Government continues to place heavy emphasis on rebuilding homes, businesses, and other infrastructure on the Sister Isles following the devastation caused by Hurricane Beryl in July 2024. Several dwelling houses were already handed over to families. However, according to project sponsor Randall Dolland, once completed, the homes will be available for public viewing. The 6-ton homes are equipped with air conditioning units, impact-resistant windows, and other features that withstand disasters.
Here we've ordered 12 2-bedroom, 1-bath homes, along with 8 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom homes. Essentially, the government of Grenada undertook this endeavor to do a pilot project to test to see, again, the reaction to these homes, if they're well received or not, and sort of then decide the way forward after that. So at this point, the homes will be open for public viewing once it's completed. But here now, after day 1, we see that we have 1 home on and 4 more on structures are ready to be unfolded and get ready. Day 2, what we were going to have is these homes completely finished. These homes include air-conditioned units, the full kitchen, all electrical, plumbing is all there. The reason we opted to go with these homes was simply because we understand the constraints that, following Hurricane Beryl, the constraints of rebuilding and rebuilding very high quality Category 5 standard homes. It does take a while. Even if you do have the materials, you have the sort of limitations on manpower and labor. So in this case, once the foundations are done, these homes could come in and be put right on the foundation. These homes, each of them, weigh almost 6 tons with impact-resistant windows made of steel. So they're very heavy, they're very sturdy, and they could sort of withstand any sort of high-powered Category 5 hurricane. And this was sort of the determinant factor in choosing these homes. There are many sort of technologies like it, but this one we deemed was one of the best ones and sort of coming in at a very affordable price.
The intention is to pilot the project in Carriacou. Once the uptake is good, the project will be moved to mainland Grenada. Dolan thanked all stakeholders who made the pilot project a reality.
Government of Grenada. So that involves, of course, the Minister for Carriacou and Petite Martinique, the government of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, because they've been looking at developing this site, ensuring that, everyday constituents of Carriacou and Petite Martinique may have homes. They could get homes here, essentially. And then, of course, supported by Prime Minister's office and all other departments, Ministry of Housing, as well as Ministry of Infrastructure, and Ministry of MIT, Mobilization, Implementation, and Transformation. So this is sort of a group effort, right? We understood that, again, we had to respond strongly with Beryl. We had to, first of all, find the right solution, find the right homes that would suit this sort of environment, and also ensuring, again, that we build sustainably for the long term, for the future. So we took a while to find the right solution because we had to travel to many countries, see different solutions, and assess all of them, look at the test readings, the results, and pretty much assess that, is this the highest quality that we could get, while at the same time balancing a good price. And this solution from Happy Homes was determined to be that solution. So now the government decided to move forward with it. And again, once there's good uptake on it, we can sort of deploy this to the states of Grenada.
Right. So there again, some more prefab homes for the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. Thank you there, Mr. Dolan. All right. So look, I listened to Nolan Cox, and you say that he's living in a different Carriacou. When you listen to him on To the Point, you would believe that he's living in a different Petite Martinique. Because when you listen, you follow the news, and you hear the amount of things that the Honorable Tevin Andrews and the team in Carriacou are doing. They're trying their best. But when you hear Nolan Cox, you say, but wait, who is really in Carriacou? Who is really on the ground? Because Nolan would go on these programs and he would make you believe that things are so bad. in Carriacou and PT Martinique. But then you ask him, what are you doing to help the people of Carriacou and PT Martinique? And he can't answer. Can't answer. But to concoct stories and to misinform the public, man, they're very good at that. But again, we are not surprised because that is how they stay, that's how they function. NNP believes if they can be out there on the media, spreading lies, telling lies, repeating it over and over and over, after a while, it will sink in with some people. That is what they believe. But they don't understand you're dealing with a different population. Our people have access to the internet. Our people have access to so many devices. We see, we follow. In fact, this evening, a gentleman who is almost 70, if not 70 yet, said to me, you know, Kem Jones, I was following you this morning and I like the program. Right? I said, oh, where? He said, on YouTube, on his phone. He follows the program. And other things, he can tell you what is happening in Grenada. And then I went today to collect a barrel for the Top Hill home in Carriacou, you know, some adult diapers and so on. You know, a good friend, you know, sent it to me to have it sent to Carriacou. Deborah and Barbara, right? Thank you very much for that. And a goodly lady I met there, you know, she was doing a similar thing to clear some barrels and so on. And she said, Kem Jones, when I go home, I have to listen to you. Because she didn't get me this morning. She had to leave home early. And it's a senior person. But she follows the program online. We're living in 2025. So a lot of people have access to the internet. And we have plenty of devices that we can use to access information, to get information. So the NNP believing that they can saturate the minds of people with lies. Our people are doing their own research. Our people are investigating, researching, checking things out, and discovering things for themselves. So no longer you go to a doctor and they prescribe something for you, and you would not do your own search to find out the side effects, to find out, you know, the make of the thing, and you know what it's used for, how long you have to use it, and you know the time to get the most out of it. It's like, yes, you're going to the doctor, but Google is also your doctor. Whatever search engine you use, right? That's also your doctor. Go in and research it and find out some more. Going on YouTube and going on, you know, some such engine, seeking to know more about it. This is 2025. So the NNP with all the lies, all the misinformation, all the concoctions, they're not getting anywhere with it. They're not penetrating the market with those lies because their numbers are not growing. Their following not growing. People are not gravitating towards their message. They believe that people would, over time, gravitate towards their message. But you have a government who is performing exceptionally well. A government who is doing stuff, helping people, transforming the lives of people positively, and the country managing the affairs well. So you don't have that issue. Because you see, if you had a government who was not performing well, who had all kinds of issues to deal with and so on, then you have a problem. Then the opposition, their voices will be loud and people would gravitate towards what they would be saying. So they two ways is a problem for them. Access to information, everybody kind of following what's happening in the country, And then you have a government who is performing well. So it's very tough for the NNP, and it will be very, very hard for them in the next how many years, because our people are getting more intelligent. Our people are following current affairs. We are no longer waiting for somebody to come and tell us this happened or that happened. Because you know, by the time it gets to you, they water it down. You know about that game played in the classroom, right? Where the teacher would tell a student something at the front of the class and would instruct the student to pass it on until it reaches the back of the class. And when it gets to the back of the class, you wonder, well, where in that whole chain, in that line, the thing just changed completely. What was said initially to what you got as the final product or the final statement at the back of the class. So no one has to come and tell you anything. You're hearing it firsthand. You're following keenly what is happening in Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. And that's the beautiful thing about technology. And the NNP is still grappling with that. They just don't understand that Grenadians are happy with the performance of the government. And Grenadians are looking for positivity. Grenadians want good for Grenada. They want to be wherever in Grenada, Carriacou, PT Martinique, or in the diaspora and hear about something good, something small as it might be. For example, the beaks of the layers and so on, they tend to be plucking one another, right? And farmers in that particular sector would lose a lot of their layers, and then you would have less eggs and that kind of thing. So the government, they've decided to have about 4, I think, the beacon machines hand over to the district. So folks do not have to come to the ministry. Farmers in that particular sector do not have to come to the ministry to ask for a machine, lend or borrow. Instead, they want to bring it to the farmers so that they can have access to it within the district, which is great.
To promote sustainability and efficiency in egg production within the poultry industry, the Ministry of Agriculture's Veterinary and Livestock Division has made available a piece of equipment designed to support farmers. Last Thursday, Dr. Kimon Cummins, Chief Veterinary and Livestock Officer, handed over a debeaking machine to the 4 agricultural districts officers to assist farmers in their respective districts. Dr. Cummins explained that this initiative aims to extend support to poultry producers in the wake of Hurricane Beryl's impact in 2024.
They can come and loan the item, right? Ensure that it returns back to the ministry in great condition, great working condition, and other farmers can also utilize it and benefit from it. And I know over time a lot of farmers, especially commercial farmers, over the time we would have had a lot of requests, in the ministry where families would have come in and loan the item. So I felt, well, we have a lot of farmers keep coming down to the ministry. It's quite a bit of a travel, quite a bit of a hassle. So I think let us come out and reach the farmers. Let us drop it. Let us have these items available at the agricultural districts where it's more accessible to the farmers, and they can come, they can loan it, and they can use it. And the idea, as I said initially, is to help our farmers minimize losses. The birds are a bit, as you know, the layers are a bit cannibalistic, right? So they kind of peck on each other, and farmers lose quite a bit of birds there. Especially now where it's really hot and the birds are quite stressed. They would have a lot of pecking going on. They would lose quite a bit of eggs also, especially the birds that are not debeaked. So the idea is to help the farmers minimize as much losses and maximize on their profits.
Acting Chief Agricultural Officer Thaddeus Peters, who was present to receive the debeaking machines, highlighted the benefits of the equipment in promoting sustainable agricultural production.
we would have gone through the effects of Hurricane Beryl, and so the assistance continue because the effect that was left behind is long lasting. So we need to continue building resilience and giving support so persons can get back on their feet and continue producing. This will contribute greatly to food security, and which is a major thrust of the Ministry of Agriculture at this point, in increasing our resilience in the face of all the challenges. So disasters like we had last year, extreme weather conditions are things that farmers and producers face with on a daily basis. So all these measures are geared towards all the mitigation efforts and to increase production so that we can continue to feed ourselves.
Dennis Batiste, District Supervisor for the Eastern Agricultural District, expressed that the equipment is a welcomed addition and will help them serve farmers more effectively.
The district really appreciates this piece of implement. It will go a long way in helping our farmers, our poultry farmers, especially those who are doing layers, to assist them with the debeaking, which would help reduce the incidences of cannibalism and increase our production in terms of egg production. So we really appreciate it, and we say a special thank you to you, Dr. Cummins, and your team.
Right, and that's good. Just these little things go a long, long way, because you have a lot of poultry farmers, a lot of farmers into layers, right? Not just broilers, but layers. This is very good, very, very good to help those farmers, because to get a piece of equipment like this would cost them a pound and a crown. So the government, through the Ministry of Agriculture, getting that, sourcing it, putting it in the district to be used by the farmers. And look, you would not hear the opposition praise the government, applaud the government, thank the government for anything. Don't matter what the government does. The opposition will not applaud it. They would not thank it. They would not highlight it. They're not interested in talking about anything good, anything positive that this government is doing. In fact, last night, I spoke about Kate Lewis. Every time you look at her Instagram or Facebook page, it's all about Kate Lewis, Kate Lewis, Kate Lewis. For some strange reason, there's a particular playing field. I don't know if it's the Tivoli playing field or the either Tivoli or La Poutrie, one of them, some playing field up north, that the NNP worked on many, many years ago when they were in power. She decided to play that back, upload that, feature that on her page. And I said to myself, she's petty. I was referring to this dispensation. This dispensation. You're the MP for St. Andrew Northeast, or whatever the name of the constituency. And I am saying the majority of time or times, right, La Poutrie, majority of times I look at most of the opposition people, particularly Kate Lewis, her page, her Instagram, because it's public. It's all about Kate Lewis, right? Either she eating some food and she's showing off, or she in the gym and she's showing off, or, you know, she showing off with something about her, Kate Lewis, not about the people. You're not seeing them doing something to help the people of the constituency, and which is totally different from what we've seen on the NDC side. Stark difference. The Honorable Ron Redhead, he's not a government minister. He's a member of parliament. And he's partnering with constituents, partnering with the diaspora, people from his constituency who live in the diaspora, to help the people in that constituency in so many different ways, from the young to the middle-aged to the elderly. Why those on the opposition side cannot do the same thing? Why? Yes, we know Ron is on the government side, so he would have access to more. But still, you're on the opposition. Why not use your good office to get stuff, to help your constituents, to help your people? Were you not able to do that? Right? Come on. And then I want to encourage my good friend or friends in GIS to capture not just what is happening in Carriacou, Petit Martinique, St. David, South St. George, Northeast St. George, some constituencies in St. Andrew. Capture also what the Honorable Dennis Cornwall is doing in his constituency. Because I realize they have increased their visibility on social media. They are going house to house. They are listening to the people in that constituency. They're building roads. They're building bridges. They're building drains. They're building back homes, build back better homes. They've handed over more keys, more homes today, right? So I long for the day when that will be captured by GIS too. I know GIS is doing a fantastic job. They're trying their best. And I know they have to stretch the little resources that they have. But if you can make it a duty from time to time to capture what the Honorable Dennis Cornwall is doing, what the Honorable Joseph Andal is doing, what the Honorable Quincy Britton is doing, what the Honorable Kieran James is doing, what the Honorable Claudia Joseph is doing, what the Honorable Philip Telesford is doing, what the Honorable Lennox Andrews is doing, what the Honorable Gloria Thomas is doing, what the Honorable Delma Thomas is doing. You know, try to share it around. And then you have Miss Tessa Sincere, what she's doing too, because we see a lot of some other MPs, right? Which is great. And I know some might be making the extra effort to call GIS and to call the news to feature it, GBN or MTV or so. But I'm saying I think it's important to have them make the extra mile to capture a lot of the things that are happening in St. Patrick, because a lot is happening in St. Patrick East and St. Patrick West and St. Andrew. So we need to see more of that being featured. But GS is doing a fantastic job. So coming back to the opposition MPs, those on the NNP side, if they think that people are not observing their conduct, they're joking, because they're collecting $10,000 constituency allowance. What really are they doing with it in their constituencies, in their respective constituency? What project they initiated? What have they done? Yes, they good at talking. They have a free platform. They go on GBN, I think every Tuesday. They bomb their gum. They have talking points, I think that's the name. They bomb their gum there. They have other surrogates and pundits who will push the negativity, their agenda. Carl Keaton, Francis Pear, Andre Donald, the James guy, That's what they do. It's just negative, negative, negative. And then you have those who are just haters of progress, obstructionists, people like, the Jenny, who just be against nearly everything that the government does, right? She's bitter, she's angry, it's just sad, really, really sad. But they're good at talking. But when it comes to doing, when it comes to actual thing or things, that is lacking on their part. Grenadians, they don't just want you to be an MP to talk or to come around and take photos or to grab somebody baby and put the baby up as though they're in Africa, but they're somewhere in Pearls, somewhere in Dunfermline. They don't want that. They want good for their communities. They want to see transformation taking place within the community. And that is why they are supporting the Most Honorable Deacon Mitchell. That is why they are supporting the NDC. Because they understand that the NDC is about people. NDC cares about people. NDC wants good for people, right? And that is the slogan that we should always have out there, because we are seeing things happening. We are seeing people being transformed, right? So let's keep it that way. Don't forget tomorrow, the town hall meeting. Again, I played the ad earlier. Let me play it again.
Get ready, Grenada. On Wednesday, March 26, it's time to dive into the future of our country at the first in a series of monthly town hall meetings. Join us at the Trade Center in Grand Anse from 6 p.m. to hear from the Honorable Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell and the Technical Working Group as they unveil our nation's oil and gas plans. Buses will be available for your convenience, absolutely free. This is your chance to learn, ask questions, and contribute to the conversation about Grenada's energy future. It's Wednesday, March 26 at the Trade Center in Grand Anse from 6 p.m. Look out for the town hall meeting coming to your parish. Let's fuel our future together.
Yes. So remember, not just the Trade Center. It's not just one town hall meeting. They will be going in the different parishes with the town hall style meetings. So mobilize, organize. There will be transportation to take you back home, right? And if you can organize to go down there with a bus, because they have buses in the constituency, or you can go with your own private transport. But be there to hear from our beloved Prime Minister, right? It starts, what time is it? 6 p.m.? Yeah, 6 p.m. at the Trade Center. So mobilize, organize, and be there. So we have to remain focused, and we have to understand that the opposition, they want what we have. They want to be back in government. They're desperate. But we have not heard from them in terms of their plans, their programs, what you intend to do differently. If you get power tomorrow, what would you do differently to help the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique? It's easy to condemn. It's easy to criticize. It's easy to say all kinds of stuff. But when it comes to actual doing, what would you do differently in education? What would you do differently in health or agriculture or youth sports and culture or the creative industry or just works, infrastructure? What would you do differently? Yes, you have a mic in front of you. You're good at talking. You're good at saying certain things. Nothing is wrong with that. In fact, they spend a lot of time talking on their programs. But have they actually put forward any plan, any program, any initiative, anything that is life-changing, anything that is substantive. No, the opposition, they are not interested in that. But to criticize, to condemn, to bad talk, to run down the country, man, they're good at that. They're specialized in that field. But I'm happy that our Grenadian brothers and sisters understand that in a time like this, with what's happening globally, the United States, Canada, Europe, Latin America, South America, Venezuela and others. So you see the Middle East. So you see what's happening globally. It is important to have a stable government with one leader, respected, regarded, one leader who is managing with his team the economy well and the country and bringing benefits to our people. That is what you want. And one who understands the time and the people, right? And we have that. We have that. And we need to safeguard that. Because you look at the NNP, they're in turmoil. They have issues. They fight it among themselves. And when they speak, they're empty. They lack vision. They lack wisdom. They lack understanding. But folks, I want to thank you for being a part of the program tonight. I want to wish you all the best. I will be back with you tomorrow morning, God's willing, on the Dynamic Hour, or in the Dynamic Hour, starting from 8 in the a.m. until